This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Chapter 5 of Grief and Loss, Finding Your Way Through Grief in the Digital Age. In this chapter, you'll learn, analyze the role of social media in modern grief. Let's dive in. Right now, more people visit a memorial page on Facebook each day than many cemeteries see in a month. A friend's birthday pops up, but they died years ago. Comments pour in. Is this comforting connection or a wound that keeps reopening every time we go online? A quiet shift has happened in how we grieve. Instead of only photo albums and gravestones, many of us now inherit passwords, cloud drives, and timelines that never quite go silent. A sister scrolling through old voice notes at 2 a.m., a son backing up years of emails before an account is closed, friends debating whether to keep tagging someone who's gone. These are all part of modern mourning. Grief now comes with settings, notifications, and terms of service most of us never read. Platforms can freeze, delete, or algorithmically resurface our dead without warning. Families disagree about what should stay public and what should disappear. And in the middle of that tangle sits you, trying to protect your own heart while also protecting a memory that now lives partly in the hands of tech companies. Some people now grieve more with a screen than at a graveside. A widow refreshes a subreddit thread, waiting for replies that feel like a lifeline. A teenager scrolls through a friend's old live streams instead of visiting the cemetery. Dedicated grief forums, memorial sites, and private group chats let mourners meet others who get it within minutes, any hour of the day. But they can also mean never getting a break, a late-night scroll, an unexpected tag, a memory that appears like a sudden wave. In this new landscape, how we engage online can ease pain or quietly amplify it. Not long ago, grief mostly lived in photo boxes, letters, and the stories people could remember. Now, those 30 million memorialized Facebook profiles and millions of legacy.com messages mean something different. Our dead increasingly stay in places designed for the living, with like buttons, comment threads, and algorithmic nudges that don't understand death. Researchers are noticing three big shifts. First, expression. Online spaces let people say things they never voiced at the hospital bed or funeral. Anger, guilt, relief, even dark humor. The tone can be raw and unfiltered because you can write at 3 a.m. without worrying about shocking your aunt or breaking down in front of your kids. For some, this becomes a kind of emotional diary with witnesses. For others, it can keep emotions constantly activated, like picking at a scab each time a new reply lands. Second, connection. A subreddit with hundreds of thousands of grieving strangers can sound impersonal, yet participants often report feeling more understood there than in their offline circles. You might get a thoughtful response from someone who lost a partner to the same illness, or learn practical tips from others navigating probate, anniversaries, or co-parenting in grief. But the sheer scale means you're also exposed to very different timelines of mourning. Some posts about moving on, others written in fresh shock years later, which can create painful comparisons. Why am I not where they are? Third, curation. Instead of one framed photo, we now have thousands of searchable images, chats, and videos. Deciding what to keep, hide, or download becomes an ongoing task, not a one-time choice. Some people quietly prune old posts that feel too painful or too revealing of the deceased's struggles. Others leave everything, valuing the messy accuracy. Families can clash here. One sibling wants every trace preserved, another can't bear being tagged anymore. Platform tools, memorialization settings, legacy contacts, AI-generated memories shape these decisions in ways we rarely see until we're inside them. These tools can help you keep a continuing bond that feels alive and accessible. They can also create a sense that grief is never off-duty, because your loss can surface anytime you unlock your phone. The challenge isn't whether to grieve online or offline, but how to use digital spaces in ways that protect your nervous system, respect the dead, and fit your values rather than the platform's defaults. A few concrete cases show how different this can look in practice. A woman in her 60s, whose siblings live on 3 continents, sets up a small, invite-only space where they post micro-memories about their mother. A recipe photo, a recording of her laugh, a scan of her handwriting. Over time, it becomes less a shrine and more a living family archive that new grandchildren can browse without stumbling into strangers' comments. Another person asks close friends to send them screenshots of texts from their partner who died. They store these offline, then delete them from apps where surprise notifications feel brutal. One father joins a large online community mainly to read. He learns language for explaining death to his surviving child, then logs off for weeks at a time. For him, the value is episodic, not constant. Tending an online memorial is like caring for a communal garden. Having clear hours, shared norms, and a few trusted co-gardeners can keep it nurturing instead of overwhelming. As tools like VR spaces and AI voices of the dead mature, grieving online may feel less like visiting a page and more like entering a room. You might walk through a 3D version of your grandfather's workshop, or briefly talk with a model trained on your sister's messages. Helpful for some, disorienting for others. Laws, therapists, and even funeral homes will be pushed to catch up, translating old rituals into new formats while asking who controls these replicas and for how long. Your grief online doesn't have to look like anyone else's. You might mute birthday reminders but keep one voice message, or treat a comment thread like a guest book at a wake that never quite ends. Over time, patterns emerge. Which spaces drain you? Which soften the ache? Let those patterns, not algorithms, decide where your love and attention go next. Before next week, ask yourself, where am I still visiting my person online? Old texts, DMs, photos, voice notes, and what do I actually feel in my body when I open those apps? Then pick one specific digital space, their Instagram page, a shared photo album, a saved voicemail, and ask, do I want this space to be a shrine I return to, a memory box I open sometimes, or something I gently let go of? Finally, before you go to bed one night, pause and ask, if I logged off for the evening instead of scrolling their profiles, what small offline ritual, lighting a candle, saying their name out loud, telling them about my day, could help me stay connected in a kinder way? This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. This series continues with more chapters on OwlUp.co. Visit OwlUp.co to access the complete course and continue your learning journey. See you there!